Hi, I'm William Shekel from the Chambers Rescue Channel, and today we're going to talk about how to use your Model C. If you're new to Chambers cooking, the most important thing for you to know is that every single burner in the stove, the three on the stove top, the thermal well, the broiler, and the oven, all have their own safety latch. Way ahead of their time with thinking about safety. You can only turn the gas on any part of the chamber stove by pushing down the safety release. Push it down, turn it on full, the burner will light up. You have front right, front left, and back. Turn it off when you're done, obviously. You'll hear that clack, you'll hear that latch into place, and you know it's safe for until the next time you use it. The thermo well over here on the right is the same way. Now, the oven and the thermal well have standing pilots, which means you don't need a match or a grill lighter to light them. They go on automatically. If you've got a thermal well guide, great, then you follow your recipe, preheat it on usually on high, then turn it down to wherever you need it, turn it off when you don't need the gas anymore and it's just cooking on retained heat. If you don't have a thermal well guide, I strongly recommend trying to find one. Chamberstove.net. They're linked to below in the description of the video, and they're also featured on my website. They make reproductions of the original thermal well guides. It completely transforms ownership of a chamber stove into having something that looks nice, to having the best stove you will ever use in your life. Get a thermal well guide if you don't have one. Turn it off when you're done. Again, that will stay warm for a long time. For the broiler and the oven, you need either a match or a grill lighter, or several grill lighters, because these things never last as long as you think they're going to. This handle over here lifts the broiler up. So with this up, you're going to turn the broiler on over here, release the safety latch, turn it on full. You'll hear the gas start to flow. And there you go. Now you're going to preheat the broiler, because it heating up this sizzle platter is part of what makes the broiler function as well as it does. It sears it on the bottom, it heats it from the top, and this lever lifts that platter up and down. Right now, it's getting closer and closer to the flame, to the point where it's sitting just below it, so if you want to blacken or sear something from the top, you can. And adjust it all the way down to the bottom, where it's 3 to 4 inches below the flame. Again, it's a high precision tool, and this is what gets you the precision you want with the proximity to the flame. At the same time as you have the broiler on, this cook surface here is a griddle. Makes great pancakes, you can, hash browns, you name it, all right here. This is heating up already. Don't put your hand down on this when the broiler is on, it's hot. It will burn you. It's a mistake you will only make once. Similarly, this pilot cover is also, there's a pilot light right underneath there. Another mistake you'll only make once with the Chambers is putting your hand directly on that. You get this close, you can start to feel the heat. Doesn't use a lot of gas, but it uses enough that you'll feel it if you get too close and you're not thinking about what you're dealing with. Okay, last but not least, we want to talk about how to use the oven itself. First, lift up the handle to release the latch to the door. Then turn the thermostat to the double line mark that you'll see. If your thermostat hasn't been calibrated in a long time, you might want to turn it a little further, but the double line mark is normally fine. Next, press down the safety release and turn the handle over to on. You'll hear the damper plate on the bottom lift up. That's to provide airflow when you close the door. Now take your grill lighter and touch it to the flash tube of your oven. Now your oven is lit. If you want to double check to make sure it's actually lit, you can look in this gap over here to the left of the flash tube. Or, of course, you can also look through the mica window underneath the door when you close it later. Now, of course, you want to turn the thermostat to the temperature you want it to be at. And if you want to make sure you're doing the most you can to preserve your Chambers stove, leave the door open for at least 5 minutes. What this does is make sure that any vapor or condensation that's in the oven is able to escape. This will make sure that you don't get vapor buildup, which can lead to rust. Rust is a killer for every stove, and every stove I restore has some amount of rust that needs to be dealt with. You don't want to start having to replace panels within the oven. That's a real pain. So leaving this open will make sure it's lasted 70 years. Let's give it another 70. I know people who leave their oven door open all the time. My kitchen isn't so big that I can do that without destroying my shins. So I just make sure that I leave it open at the beginning. And then actually when I'm done, especially in the winter time, I leave the oven open after I'm done cooking. It heats the room. May as well take some of that heat retention and give it back to the family. After those 5 minutes, lift up the latch, seal your door, and you're ready to cook. That's it. See you next time on the Chambers Rescue Channel.